Hey guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm jumping in with the hashtag I've created, hashtag my lovely Lenormands. We tend to give a lot of attention to our oracle decks and our tarot decks and our runes, and there are a lot of videos on Lenormand, but I usually don't see a whole lot of videos just dedicated to showing off all the wonderful and beautiful Lenormand decks we may have. Now I must admit I do have a rather large collection of oracle decks followed by tarot decks, and I really don't have that many Lenormands, but I feel like there's so much beautiful artwork that's put into Lenormand, and although Lenormand is read differently than tarot and oracle, albeit not that differently in symbolism, I think that the imagery is just spectacular, and I want to share some of that art with you guys. As a disclaimer, I am in no way saying that you guys need to buy more decks or that you need to buy any of the decks that I have. I am, like I say, just an appreciator or a connoisseur of art of all types. So whether I see a sculpture or a painting or I see lovely art put into a deck of cards, I am wanting to share that artist's work with the world. So in total, I only own 6 Lenormand decks. I have a small collection of Lenormand decks, mostly because many of the cards are interpreted almost the same. Well, there's a very strict meaning for each of the cards. So, you know, if you get the clover card, you know, it would say that, you know, it means this when it comes to location, it means this when it comes to health, and these are all the keywords that go with clover. It also means this if you're using it for timing. Same thing can be said for tarot, yes, but a lot of people with tarot cards not only go off the meanings of the original Rider-Waite-Smith, but people incorporate so many other esoteric meanings from all different types of tarot decks, because there isn't just the Rider-Waite. With Lenormand decks, it's a little harder. I mean, you can use your intuition to see which type of wording you want to use. Let's say when it comes to the clover card, you know, is it good luck, or are we looking at a really awesome event coming up for you in the future? You know, you can kind of interpret it and kind of use your intuition that way. But I feel with like tarot decks, yes, I use some of the meaning, but I often look at the images in the card, and that often spurs my intuition. Whereas in Lenormand, it's less to do with the images on the card and more to do with what the card is. So let's say you have the Rider card. You could just have an index card with the word Rider on it, and I believe Kelly from The Truth in Story had done something like that, where she just had some cards with the Lenormand words on them instead of the images, and that's basically how you can read Lenormand. I guess if you want to simplify it, Lenormand, I guess if it's just a word on a card, is kind of like runes, where it's a symbol on a piece of wood. Okay, so let's jump into my lovely Lenormands. My very first Lenormand deck is actually, I still have it, the Faery Lenormand cards. And this is by M. Katz and T. Goodwin, and the artwork by David Corsi. So these are the backs of the cards, and I got this in a trade, and at first I was like, oh, this isn't my art style, but it grew on me, and it helped me to really dive into and want to learn Lenormand further. And they are oracle size, as you can see, so these are pretty massive Lenormand cards, and usually Lenormand is not that big. In some Lenormand decks you'll see like the playing card meanings, or the playing card up at the top. Sometimes you won't, sometimes you'll see the numbers, sometimes you won't. It's just personal preference. For me, I don't mind either way. You know, you could have the numbers, not have the numbers, you could have the playing card in there or not have it. Doesn't matter either way to me, but like I said, this really isn't my type of artwork, but the energy that was coming off of it and how easily I was able to incorporate what I was learning with Lenormand with this deck, I felt like there was fairy energy. There really is fairy energy in this deck, and they're really helping me to learn by tapping into their energy. And I will admit that some of the cards were a little harder to read just because I couldn't figure out like which Lenormand card is this, but you know, of course the numbers helped out with that. So yes, this is my Faery Lenormand Oracle cards. I have so few decks that I think I can go in order of the decks that I actually purchased. So the Faery Lenormand Oracle cards were my first Lenormand deck. The second was the Kitch Lenormand, and you can see the awesome backings there. So the Kitch Lenormand, I believe I got from Duck Soup Productions on Etsy. And again, there's those awesome flamingo backs. And my stepmom and I both love like everything like retro kitsch. And so this like deck was right up my alley. And it also helped me dive even further into Lenormand and really trying to memorize the meanings and what does it mean for location and timing and health. And yeah, and you know, the images on here just made it really fun. Ooh. So yeah, this was my my other awesome Lenormand deck, and I don't think I've gotten rid of any of my Lenormand decks because I think they're all pretty awesome. And my girl Betty Page, yes. I believe my third deck that I got, I kind of have number 3 and number 4 confused, but I believe my third deck was the 1889 Lenormand Oracle. And just look at this box, by the way. I've done a review of this, and I think I've done a review of all my Lenormand decks, so definitely check out my deck reviews playlist, and you'll see all my Lenormand stuff. But there we go, that's the inside. There were a few people who had backed this actually on Kickstarter, and unfortunately they never received their decks. So most people did, but there were some people that did not, and so like I feel really bad for the people that were not able to get it. This was a deck that I hadn't backed on Kickstarter just because I didn't know. This was back before like I knew like Kickstarter and Indiegogo was like a thing, and you can, you know, like get decks before they became like too cool. But anyway, it has some nice gold matting edges, and this one does have the playing card and the number on it. And this would be, I guess, your standard oracle size. And I really love it. It's really soft. Reminds me of a time a long time ago before I incarnated into this life. And I really love it. And at first I was a little put off by Lenormand because, you know, let's say I got a card like this, the dog, you know, I'd start going off all these, you know, other things like it could mean this and this. And with Lenormand, it's like, no, dog is like loyalty, best friend, you know, this and that. And it's hard to stray from from that. And of course, you know, with cards, you read them however you want. But, you know, traditional Lenormand says that there's only a set number of keywords for each of the cards. My fourth deck is the Clair de Lune Lenormand, and actually the person that turned me on to this deck, and you got your lovely felt insight, was Kelly from The Truth in Story. I always enjoy all her videos. They're all very educational and informative. These are the backings. This one just has the numberings on it, but it's just very simple, and I love it. You know, I love the darkness. I love the like chalk just standing out on a sea of black, and I don't know, this really speaks to me. I really dig it. A lot of the Lenormand decks will have 2 male cards, 2 female cards, and like 2 or 3 children cards or child cards, and then you choose which one you feel most drawn to, which ones, and then you can put those into the deck. And when it comes to Lenormand, like directions of the faces often determine, you know, a lot of things. Also add extra information to a reading. You know, if let's say the female's facing this way, but in the spread the male's facing the other direction, it's like, something odd is afoot here. And so then you look into the other cards. Yeah, totally awesome. Okay, my 5th deck is the Victorian Gothic Lenormand by Ariana Seigel. And those are the backs. And this just harks back to like teenage me. You know, I can be very rainbow and bright colors, I mean, but I also love my dark side too. I love my shadow. Sometimes I don't love it that much, but you know, it is interesting to dive into that. And this, I like the darker aspect of this Lenormand deck. Again, this one's just, it has the numbers up at the top and it has the keywords at the bottom, but it does not have the playing cards on it. And then my final deck, my 6th deck, and I love when they come in these plastic boxes, by the way. This deck is the Natalie Rose Winter Solstice Lenormand by Tarot by 7. You can find them on Etsy, but they also have a website, www.tarotby7.com. I've bought a few decks from them. I love the quality of their decks. Nice linen finish. Again, those are the backs. And the creator's daughter actually had a hand in this. And so, they are real photographs, photoshopped, and it does have the numbers up at the top. I opted for the bridge size and to have it without keywords and without playing cards. And I really did want to use it during the winter solstice. It really called to me then. So it just has such a somber feel, and I really love that about this deck. I love the, you know, kind of Yuletide aspects, little touches in there, but it's a fabulous deck. I really love it, and I don't just use it during the winter solstice. Like, I end up using it whenever. But this deck came with, I think, 3 child cards, 2 different tree cards, 2 different star cards, I think, and then like 2 men and 2 women. So there was a lot of extra cards with this deck. So that's it, you guys. That was my hashtag, my lovely Lenormands. So hashtag my lovely Lenormands. Please, if you feel so inclined, do a VR to this, a VR to Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. Hashtag my lovely Lenormands. I'd love to see what Lenormand decks you have so we can put some more of that good art out there and we can admire it through the television screen, the computer screen, or our cell phone screens. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want to catch a reading with me, I do have Lenormand readings in my Etsy shop and on my website, so head on over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. I also have plenty of other readings as well, and there is a link to my Etsy shop through my website. And if you haven't already, please join the KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittensweightsandtarot, where I am creating my own oracle deck with the help of you peeps, because this is a community-based deck. So if you haven't already, please donate a picture that you may have taken of your sacred place, a place that's just sacred and wonderful and beautiful to you. And I can't wait to start putting those pictures together and kind of working my magic, my creative skills with it, so that I can put this deck out into the world. And like I said, I don't care if I don't sell any copies. I just feel like I need to put it out there. I'm doing it for the art, and I'm doing it for the love of cards. So yeah, anywho, I will catch you spiritual homies later. If you guys dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And I will catch you spiritual homies later. All right, peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.